The Backdraft Axe by Schrade. You guys don't know, the unboxing and first impressions of this axe was the best video we have to date. In the 3 years we've been on social media, it's got the most views in the shortest amount of time. I don't know what triggered everybody, because there was a lot of people triggered about this.
Maybe they forgot lubrication.
But I really appreciate everyone watching. And we're going to talk about the Backdraft Axe. How did it perform? Was it as bad as some of you thought it was? Did it hold up? How well did it fly in the air? Edge retention? How'd this handle hold up? Everything. And there was somebody that said something. What did they say, Dave?
Oh yeah, they said that we are snobs.
Yeah, I don't know who said that. I did a $15 Walmart mossy oak hatchet review and said it was pretty decent for the money. So I don't know where you get off saying that.
Probably low-key.
But let's get into the Backdraft Axe by Schrade. And this axe was given to us by one of you. One of the viewers of the channel sent it to me and said, Wes, we want you to review it. And I said, okay, I will. Like I said, I would have never bought this on my own. It just wasn't something that I normally see and go, yeah, I gotta have it. And I'm glad that he sent it to me. I don't know if he was trolling me or not, but I put my own touch on it. Like I said in the first impressions video, I cut the handle down. Cut about 3.5 inches off, and I left some of the steel at the bottom so you could still use it for glass breaking if you want. Worked out really well. Now let's talk about the handle since we're starting there. I told you guys in the first video that it was either G10 or an overmold, like a rubber overmold. I think it's both. It's kind of coming off a little bit where I kind of like clipped it on the target. It feels like G10 with maybe a rubber overmold over top of it. Really comfortable in the hand. You do get that square handle, and I didn't have any issues with it. I'm not a big fan of square handles, but man, it felt really good. Once I cut the handle down, the weight is just so nice now, guys. Look at that. Pretty much even. It really is. And doing a little bit of a rotation test like I do, we're rotating nicely. I had no wobble in the air once I cut the extra weight off the bottom and the extra length. I think it's best at this length. I think I cut it down to 15.5 inches is what I got it at. But man, this thing is really wieldy, very maneuverable. If you want to be agile with it, you could, and it's just really nice at this weight, it really is. Getting into the actual axe head, like I told you guys in the first impressions video, I was gonna run an edge up at the top, which I did here. Worked out really well. Took me a little bit of time. It's a little bit thicker up in here, but I did run an edge from here all the way to the toe. So now we have an edge from here going all the way down to the heel right here where the beard's at. Worked out really well. Worked out really well. Now when I set up to throw this, I will tell you guys, sorry, had a little bit of an injury, and I'll roll it in here. I was kind of doing a weird spin around sideways throw, and my foot caught a root, and I kind of threw it weird, and the axe bounced off the round. And as I was trying to get out of the way, I tripped on that same root and twisted my ankle and popped one of my ligaments in my right ankle. I can feel it right now.
I told you to watch out for the root.
You didn't say anything, Dave. You just sat there and watched.
Watched you step on that root.
Anyway.
Hard to hear with earbuds in.
So a lot of my single rotations were dynamic. I threw it hard. I was able to run around and be maneuverable throwing this at a single rotation. And it worked out really well. And I'll roll the clips in now. But everything after that was stationary, guys, and I was throwing it weird. I had to adjust how my feet work was throwing this because of my ankle. So at double, triple, and yes, I went back to quadruple rotations. I was kind of off a little bit. It's on me. It's not the axe. It was just me. Setting up to throw this thing at a single rotation, it felt really good. I was warming up, and I noticed that I didn't really have to get into it at all. I mean, it was just repetitive, very, very accurate, into the target warm-up throws. And I kind of just told Dave, I said, we just get right into this thing. There's no point in playing around, changing anything up. Let's just throw it. And that's exactly what we did. Felt really nice out of the hand. Like I told you guys, I'm not a big fan of square handles, but this one felt really good. It did. I was able to throw it really hard too, up close at the target there. Very accurate at a pie plate, you know, bullseye area, and then doing some face shots as well. it came out of the hand really nice at a single rotation. Even being maneuverable, run around and throwing the axe up and catching it and throwing it in the target. Square handle didn't have me off at all. It landed in the hand really nice, and I was able to release it really nice as well. Doing my back spinning throws and sideways throws and all that at a single rotation, I had no issues. Now we kind of hobbled our way back to distance.
No, you were the only one hobbling.
Yeah, I hobbled my way. He just sat there and stared at the target like he normally, or stared at me.
You know, I always enjoy watching you walk away.
Thanks, Dave. I'll take that as a compliment. And we started back at double rotations, throwing it. No issues there, guys, either. Felt really clean. Felt exactly the same as it did a single rotation. Very repetitive at double rotations into the target. Hitting really nicely, too. That's one thing I'll say about it, is that it hits really nice. The bit and cheeks are very thin, so you're going to get some penetration, which we'll talk about in a minute. But man, it flew really well at a double rotation. After I threw it a few times for a double rotation, I kind of gave you guys a sideways throw at a double, kind of just walking up and tossing it. I couldn't really run, so I kind of just did this walk up as I'm walking and threw it into the round there. Rotated really nicely in the air. And that's one thing I'll say about this, is that if you wanted to get it for trick throws, I think this would be good. Put you an edge up at the top, and it'd be great for trick throws, because I was able to throw this really well for trick throws, you know, sideways throws and non-conventional axe throws, I should say. And it worked out really well. And going back to triple rotations were exactly the same as doubles and singles, hitting very cleanly. It was smashing in the target as well, going deep, getting good penetration at triple rotation. And I told Dave after I threw it a bunch at triple rotations, I said, maybe we should take this thing back to quadruples. And he kind of...
I thought a little more time downrange couldn't hurt.
That's right. He kept saying, just throw it a few more times at a triple. So I threw it a few more times at a triple rotation. It was very repetitive. I didn't have any issues honing down my accuracy at all. And then we stepped back to quadruple rotations, threw it maybe about 5 times. I will say, when I got back to quadruples, guys, my ankle was really bothering me. So I wasn't able to load all my weight on my back leg like I normally do and push off. I had to do this weird throw, but I did get some to stick into the target where I wanted them to, and then I kind of had to call it. And that's what my experience was throwing the bushcraft survival axe that Schrade made here, the Backdraft. Is it good enough for axe throwing? Yeah, I'd say it was. Now, the weird thing about axes like these is that I have all kinds of people come in to the channel. If you guys haven't noticed, we've gained a lot of subscribers since the beginning of the year. We came in at 4,000 subscribers. We're close to reaching 7,000. I was getting about 1,000 subscribers a year, and I've got almost 3,000 subscribers in the past like 3 months. That's nuts. But I will say this. I love the axe community, and I love all of you that watch the channel and, you know, give me axes and tell me axes to review. But I'm starting to find out that there's some toxic people out there, which that's anywhere. And I'm starting to notice that no matter what I do, I can't please some. I'm trying, guys, I'm trying. I bring in cheap axes like these, and then the expensive guys that only want to buy expensive axes hate on these. And then I get guys that really only want to spend a certain amount of money on axes that don't want to spend a ton. They get upset and call me names when I do an expensive axe. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I do everything from $15 all the way up to really expensive. If you guys don't know, because I haven't told you yet, come back soon, because I've got some really expensive ones coming up. Winkler, RMJ Tactical, those are on the playlist here shortly. But guys, I'm hitting everything underneath the sun. Some are going to be expensive, some are going to be cheap, so a lot of them are in the middle. I don't hate on an axe because it's cheap, you guys know that. And I don't discriminate on an axe because of its price, whether it's cheap or expensive. I give you an honest review. Now, some of you out there may not like the Backdraft. Great. Some of you may love it. That's great too. But I tell you guys what I do when I throw these things. Test them, throw them all to crazy, beat them all to hell. As you can see here, guys, check out the handle. A lot of that had to do with my ankle and me trying to get the best I could, but some of it sinking and the, you know, wood splinters sticking out when it went in the target, kind of chipping this handle out. It held up. The bolts did not come loose. It just worked out, it really did. So let's talk about edge retention and penetration with the Backdraft. Now, if you take a look here, you can see that most of the penetration was happening somewhere in this area. A little bit of an over rotation. You can see where it's sinking at. So guys, we're looking at almost 2 inches of penetration. If you sink the toe kind of like this into the target. If you get a clean bit strike, which is from the toe to the heel like this, I was sinking about right in this area. So you're looking at about 1.5 inches, but there were times where I was sinking all the way up to where this cutout is right before it. So yet again, we're at about 1.75 inches to almost 2 inches of penetration when I was throwing it hard, which is not bad. Oh, right in the face. Now, as far as edge retention goes, it's typical 3CR13. I didn't notice anything outside of what I normally notice with this steel type. It held its edge fairly well after a few hours of throwing. Not bad. And the edge up here held very well too. As you saw, I've got some over rotation throws into the target, and I love that I put an edge up here because I was able to utilize the top of the axe head for axe throws, and it made for a great throwing experience. It really did. And that edge up there held fairly well too. Most of my axe throws were going in with the toe, kind of like that, which is kind of what you need to do when you're throwing that anyway. You could throw it with the toe and the heel lined up, but you really need to over rotate it a bit. And that's where it sticks and sinks, I think, the deepest. I think for $55 or $60, it's not bad. It gives you something different, right? I think if you cut it down a little bit, it's probably going to be a little bit more manageable, and I think it's going to fly better in the air. At 15.5 inches, I do. I like the fact that I was able to put an edge up at the top. It worked out well for over rotations. As you saw in this video, I over rotated it and it stuck just fine. So there is that. Handle held up, even though we did get some of that over molded rubber kind of starting to tear a little bit. It held up. The G10 held up. Screws didn't come loose. The axe head performed exactly how I would want it to, just by looking at it and going, I think it's going to do this. It did exactly what I thought it would. It's very thin. It worked out really well, guys. It did. Is it going to be the best axe out there for axe throwing? Of course not. But everybody's different. Somebody might get this and say it's the worst axe for axe throwing. Somebody like me might get it and say, man, this thing is not bad for the money. Overall, I think it's going to hold up. I think the only cons that I can find in this, if it was to be used like, you know, utility-wise, maybe keep it long. But I think cutting it down a little bit made it better for chopping too. And I think it worked out really well for axe throwing, I do. So the length maybe might be a little bit of a con. I don't like that huge glass breaker down at the bottom when you can do something like this. If you guys haven't noticed, Winkler combat axes, they have knobs like this for glass breaking that aren't, we don't need them huge. You don't. And maybe the over molded rubber might tear on you if you get a lot of handle strikes on the target. Other than that, I think it's going to hold up well for you. I really do. At least mine did. And if anything changes in the future, because I'll keep throwing it, I'll come back and let you guys know. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about the Schrade Backdraft. If it's something that you would buy, if it's something you wouldn't. If some of you that were criticizing it, I hope you came back to this video. I've noticed a lot of people that are in the first impressions and unboxing that have a lot to say are really quiet when I come back and throw these. And then I actually put them through a test and they either hold up or they don't. So please, if you watched the first one and you had something negative to say, go back in the comment section and let me know. Wes, I still think it's crap. Cool. But you can't deny the fact that I put it through its paces and it worked out really well. Thanks for all the support, guys. I really appreciate it. Come back for the next video. I got some really cool axes planned. The next 2 or 3 axes are going to be awesome. And they're going to be some of the most expensive axes that Dave and I have ever bought. Ever. Even before social media. So it should be a lot of fun. And I'm interested to see if price equals quality with some of these, because man, it hurt to buy them.
Maybe we should tell the wife about the new expensive axes coming.
Shut up, Dave. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks for all the support, but until next time, see ya. And remember, it's always for the love of these axes. Now, as far as